The World Poker Tour is brought to you by ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker. Guaranteed.
In the City of Angels, it's bright lights and big action as the poker spotlight is ready to shine. The LA Poker Classic kicks off now, tonight on the WPT.
Well, the crowd all standing. He is circling the drain. They are going bare knuckles in the center of the ring.
He needs the extreme miracle.
Hi everyone, welcome to the World Poker Tour. I'm Lynn Gilmartin. Los Angeles. For decades, people have descended on LA with dreams of stardom and hitting the big time. But it's not only the entertainment industry that delivers on this promise, as 5 days ago, players hit the felt at the world-famous Commerce Casino, looking to strike it rich and make a splash on the poker scene. As players entered the tournament room of the Commerce Casino to dip their toes and wallets into the prize pool, the WPT crew kicked off play at the newly christened Monster Bar, where Mike Sexton explained what makes this event so special.
The LAPC is truly one of the premier events in the poker world. It's a 10K buy-in, one starting day, no rebuys, and the winner takes home over $1 million.
One player who stood out in the crowd was the defending champ, Paul Clan, who spoke about how he felt on day one last year.
My expectations were just to go as far as I could. I mean, I really never imagined that I was going to win it. You always hope you will, but, you know, to never having won an event before and have never gone that deep, it was amazing to win.
Paul was one of the many former LAPC champs in the field that included Sean Jazayuri, Eric Hirschler, Michael Mizraki, and Antonio Espendiari. Royal Flush girl Danielle Ruiz grabbed a quick word with Season 6 champion Phil Ivey.
What was it like for you to win the LAPC?
There's a lot of tough players here, so you know it was a grind. It was nice to win it. LA is a good place to party in, so we went out that night, we had a great time.
The LAPC always has a big local turnout, and being in Los Angeles, sometimes those locals are Oscar-nominated actresses like Jennifer Tilly.
This is my lucky casino, the Commerce Casino. I love doing the WPT. They sort of broke the mold in terms of how they do the poker shows.
Hollywood big shot / poker player Matt Salzberg was eliminated after Ali Islami turned over pocket queens for a full house.
I'm like over 4 in the LAPC. I got some monster headphones to listen to alone tonight.
After walking the floor and checking in with some WPT Champions Club members like David Chu,
WPT World Champion,
and Daniel Negreanu, Mike Sexton couldn't ignore all the dead money in the field and bought into the tournament late in the day.
phenomenal Phil Locke here, champion Jonathan Duhamel, Jeff Madsen, the rapper of the world. Legends everywhere at the table. I'm going to come in, play fast, we'll see what they do.
He's gonna play snug as a rug, trust me.
As Mike was attempting to build his stack, others were going in the opposite direction. WPT Montreal finalist Lily Coletto unfortunately busted in one of the last hands of the night. 501 players had entered the event, with 370 surviving to play on day 2. Registration would remain open through the first level of the following day. JC Tran and Ali Islami both had strong days, finishing with over 100,000 in chips. But it was Scott Blackman at the top of the chip counts with over 190,000. As the surviving players took their seats at the start of day 2, the field also saw the arrival of some last-minute entrants, including Jason Mercier.
It's day 2 and looking forward to getting in on the action.
And Ebony Kenny marveled at the strength of the field.
This is my first time at LAPC. What really makes it unique is the fact that everyone, it's like the who's who of poker. I mean, everyone is here. It's pretty outrageous.
Good start, yeah.
Some players had lots of chips to stack, other players were on the short stack and looking for help from a higher power.
Well, the poker guys got to look out for me early today. The good news is I don't have to make many decisions today. I just ship it in there if I get anything that resembles a hand. And poker gods, I need you today.
And perhaps this guy had angered the poker gods, because Phil Hellmuth found himself on the receiving end of a tough beat to bust early in the day.
I flopped top 2 and the other guy flopped a set. That's about what it takes to eliminate me from this thing. Rough day, I think I won 1 pot.
At the end of the first level, we checked in with Royal Flush girl Brittany Bell, who had the details on this monster field.
Registration is closed and the official numbers are in. 534 players entered the event, creating a prize pool of over $5 million. 63 players will make the money, with first place taking home over $1 million.
With the payouts released, Jonathan Duhamel was excited about the action on day 2.
It feels like the game is a little more aggressive over here. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely a lot of fun.
But the day marked the end of the road for WPT champions Phil Ivey and Will Fiala.
It wasn't meant to be today. Did my best.
Along with Jeff Madsen, who had his sights set on the next stop. French actor and singer Patrick Bruel had a good day, finishing with over 185,000 in chips. In addition to all his entertainment accomplishments, Bruel was also the voice of the WPT in France.
But it was a very nice experience to be Mike Sexton sometimes.
As the chips were counted up, once again it was Scott Blackman at the top of the field. Fresh off his second place finish at the Borgata Poker Classic, David Paredes was in third place. 172 players remained alive and would return on day 3. The plan for the day was to play down to the money. But for that to happen, we would have to say goodbye to 109 players. There were some high-profile players still looking for their first WPT cash, including a British pro Chris Moorman. And Chris was focused on making it through the day.
Played well, and I have over 40 big blinds. That's more than enough. But yeah, this tournament's such a long tournament. It's just like make it through the day and don't do anything too silly and come back for day 4.
Also hanging in there was our host Mike Sexton, who was trying to emulate former LAPC champion Antonio Esfandiari in any way he could.
The fans at home want to see what my beanie looks like on Mike Sexton? I'll show you.
Oh, really? Okay. Right. Anything I can do to be like Antonio, I'm doing it. What are you listening to?
This is Leonard Skinner. What do you mean, what am I listening to? You don't know Leonard Skinner? Come on, let's get
I
that.
want to hear some Patrick Burrell.
I don't listen to that French, you know?
2 players on opposite ends of the chip spectrum were Jennifer Tilley and South African pro Ronit Shamani.
I'm getting lucky, and when I'm not lucky, I pretend like I'm lucky and I bluff.
Yeah, I'm not giving up. I'll make it through.
But after getting crippled by Jeremy Kotler, Ronit was soon all in and called by Jennifer, who had her outkicked and well covered. No help on the board knocked Ronit out of the tournament. Poker pro Daniel Steinberg, who had come into the day second in chips, found himself in a tough spot facing an all-in bet by hedge fund manager and Queens native Glenn Lefay. The decision was made even tougher by table talk.
It will be a bad call by you. I'm going to show you. So you're going to, you're either going to suck out or you're going to see the best hand.
What if I told you I had 2 pair?
I don't care. Clock.
Glenn finally called the clock, and with seconds remaining,
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Daniel made the call and was disappointed to see Glenn turn over a set of 10s. Daniel was drawing dead and eliminated from the tournament.
Good, you're really tough. Thanks, man.
We also lost the day 1 and day 2 chip leader Scott Blackman, who after his strong start finished short of cashing. And the field continued to shrink with the money bubble approaching. After moving all in with pocket queens, Gordon Vio was quickly called by Oliver Price, who held pocket aces. The board ran out with no help for Gordon, who was eliminated in 64th place. The knockout meant that the remaining players would make the money and that play was concluded for the night. Glenn Lefay would finish the day second in chips, followed by the strong performance of Jennifer Tilley in third. But at the top of the standings was season 11 LAPC third place finisher Jesse Yaganuma.
I had a pretty good day and finished the day with 800,000. I feel like I played pretty well and it worked out well.
As play began on another beautiful Los Angeles morning, the remaining 63 got ready for work on the task of becoming the next WPT champion. The field would narrow to the final 18 before day ended, and players would have to navigate a room full of tough pros. Feeling optimistic about his chances was poker pro Ryan D'Angelo.
Got a little work to do, but I'm feeling pretty good about this.
Early bust-outs included 2010 WSOP main event champion Jonathan Duhamel, Season 9 Player of the Year Andy Frankenberger, and Season 12 Borgata Poker Classic runner-up David Paredes. Low on chips, but never low on optimism, was Mike Sexton.
On the short stack, still here. Made the money, now we move. I go so far on thin ice, then it falls through. All right, guys, good luck to you.
WPT champion Matt Waxman ended Ryan D'Angelo's run for the final table when he eliminated him in 37th place.
Down to 36 players, which means we're going to play six-handed, which I actually didn't even know about, but it's a nice surprise because it just opens things up, allows you to be a little bit more aggressive and use your skill to a little bit more of an advantage.
With the tables now short-handed, a monster pot developed. Day 3 chip leader Jesse Yaganuma check-raised all in on the flop, sending Kumar Parminder into the tank. After getting a count of Jesse's stack, Kumar went all in over the top and was called by LA native Josh Neufeld. Josh was in the lead but needed to dodge a spade. A 5 on the river gave him quad 5s and shipped Josh the biggest pot of the tournament. Jesse was eliminated in 33rd place and Kumar was left with just 3,000 in chips. Chris Moorman then delivered the final blow to Kumar, out shortly after in 32nd place. Big names continued to fall, including 2012 WSOP main event champion Greg Merson, WPT Montreal runner-up Mukul Pahuja, and Season 5 LAPC champion Eric Hirschler. After knocking out Matt Waxman in 26th place, Joe Sirok talked about his meteoric rise from last place at the start of day 4.
I came with 45,000 today, got 1.1 million now.
Jennifer Tilley, who had been crippled by Josh Neufeld in an earlier hand, was all in for her last 118,000. Her ace 10 was in the lead against Chris Moorman's 7-6, but was crushed when Chris flopped a straight, and Jennifer was sent home in 22nd place. Play ended for the night when Joe Sirok knocked out WPT champion Ravi Raghavan in 19th place. Joe would bag up over 1.5 million, good for 4th on the leaderboard. Quite a difference a day makes. Chris Moorman and Glenn Lefay were neck and neck with over 1.7 million, but it was Josh Neufeld who captured the chip lead with over 2.3 million.
Tomorrow's an important day. Play down the final table. Gotta stay focused, you know.
With the money jumps getting bigger, see who has what it takes to make it to the final table when we return to the Commerce Casino on the World Poker Tour.
Are you looking for a fun, exciting place to play poker online? Then check out ClubWPT.com. Enjoy all the poker you want for free.
ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed.
Welcome back to the Commerce Casino, where the World Poker Tour's coverage of the playdown to the LA Poker Classic final table continues. With the enormous starting field of 534 players narrowed down to just 18, play got underway to see which 6 of them would survive to battle it out for the over $1 million first place prize and the WPT Champions Cup. British poker pro Chris Moorman's strategy for the day was, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yesterday was really good for me, so just more of the same, and hopefully see you guys here tomorrow.
The remaining players would continue 6-handed, which would create plenty of action, but also plenty of play, according to tournament director Matt Savage.
Structure being good gives a chance for people with low stacks to actually come back. So Joe Sirok yesterday had one of the lowest stacks in the tournament, came back and now is one of the chip leaders, so it can be done.
The short stack, Dan O'Brien, wasted no time quickly doubling up through Kazu Oshima, and then shortly after, Dan doubled up again. As the field got smaller, Dan's stack got bigger. One player emerging on day 5 was local pro Michael Rocco, who after knocking out 2 players back-to-back had become one of the chip leaders. But Michael's slow play was getting under the skin of his table mates.
Our table's playing pretty slow because of one of the players. Can you hear me?
I don't care.
No, I'm just.
I don't even care.
No,
I don't even exist.
No, I'm trying to be very friendly. I'm being friendly.
I don't know you. I don't care about you. Let me play my game, okay?
It's our game too. Yeah, that's the thing. It's everyone's game. He's not very nice, but let's leave it at that.
Season 10 Player of the Year Joe Sirok's impressive comeback came to an end in 10th place. He was followed by Kazu Oshima in 9th. Big stud player Adam Friedman, who wears his emotions on his sleeves, was put to a huge decision by Chris Moorman in a hand that sent him deep into the tank.
If you guys call clock, I'm willing to.
We don't want to be rude, but if it helps you...
I know, but this is basically, you know,
This is like the biggest decision I've had all time. This is the longest I've ever taken on any hand in my life.
All right, you have 1 minute back on your hand.
Gosh, dang it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just don't show. Just don't show.
The hand took so long that the field lost a player in 8th place while it played out. Down to 7, all the remaining players were finally at one table. With a million chip pot brewing, Dan O'Brien faced a big bet from Michael Rocco. After Michael called the clock, Dan went all in with just seconds to spare. Michael made the call.
Wow.
Dan was in the lead but had a lot of outs to dodge. A 6 of diamonds on the river gave Michael a flush and knocked Dan out on the TV bubble. It was a brutal beat for Dan, but he was sort of able to put it into perspective.
I had a really good day today. I'm really fortunate to get this far, but I probably won't really believe that for a couple weeks.
The final 6 comprise a talented mix of players, all making their first WPT final table, each hoping to win their first WPT title. With the final 6 players settling into their seats, I'll turn to the WPT's very own Mike Sexton and Vince Van Patten for more analysis on the game. Now, Mike, young pro Michael Rocco is coming in with a commanding chip lead, but he has a beast on his left in Chris Moorman. How will this affect the dynamics at the table?
Well, Michael Rocco does have the big chip lead at this final table, but as you said, Lynn, Chris Moorman is a beast and has position on him. The 28-year-old Moorman is the #1 ranked online tournament player of all time with nearly 11 million in winnings. He's also got over 3 million in live cashes. Now, I played this tournament and made it to the 4th day and had the privilege of playing with Chris on 3 of those 4 days, and I can tell you, I was really impressed with the guy. He is a poker machine. I am picking Chris Moorman to win the title tonight.
Superstar Patrick Bruel is right in the thick of it. Rate his chances here tonight.
Well, Lynn, Patrick Bruel is not just a great poker player, but he is a big star in France. He's like Justin Timberlake over there, but nothing alike, actually. He's a singer, he's an actor, he's a dancer, he's an entertainer, and he's also a great poker player. He has a World Series of Poker bracelet to his name, and right now, he's talking to Matt Savage.
Patrick, you're an international superstar. You always show a lot of emotion in your work. Why are you so passionate about poker?
I like competition. I like this game because it's a game that you can analyze, you can think.
You are the voice of the WPT over in France.
Yeah.
If you were the commentator today on tonight's final table, what would you say about the player Patrick Bruel?
Certainly would be very critical.
Lynn, Google this guy. He's a big deal. Back to you.
Thanks, Matt. So who will reign supreme here at the Commerce? Action is ready to get started, so let's send it back to Mike and Vince for the call of the game.
Well, there you see our chip leaders. Michael Rocco out in front, nearly 5.6 million in chips. Chris Moorman in 2nd place. And that's what they're playing for. The winner tonight takes home over $1 million and takes down this coveted title.
Yeah, we started out with 534 players. We're down to these 6. Andes are 5,000. Blinds are 15 and 30. The cards are flying around the table, and it's on the Englishman, Chris Moorman. Chris looks down at an ace-jack of clubs. He likes it. Makes it 65,000 to go. Into the Frenchman, Patrick Bruel. Great entertainer. Fine player. He folds.
Next up is Josh Neufeld. Josh, 24 years old, from Los Angeles.
Josh has got a whopper of a hand, Mike. Ace-king.
He is going to 3-bet this.
And Josh Neufeld is going to make it 160,000 with his ace-king. Glenn LaFay quickly folding. Adam Friedman not playing. And now we're around to the chip leader, Michael Rocco from L.A. as well.
Yeah, 24 years old. Calls himself a professional nomad. He just travels around doing whatever.
Okay, he traveled out of this hand. And back on Chris Moorman making the call. This could spell trouble for Moorman. Ace-jack under the ace-king. And here we go with the flop.
Well, the flop comes 7-4-4 with 2 clubs. So Chris has flopped the nut flush draw. Is going to check.
Let's see if Josh makes the continuation bet. No, he slows down.
Now a 10 comes off.
No help to either player. And look at the Englishman is getting it out. Now he's #1 online player in the world, won more money than anyone. And now he's playing a live tournament and playing well. He's betting on the come here.
I'm going to bet 150,000 here.
Can he get Josh to go out?
Vince Josh sold a screenplay when he was 16 years old about online poker.
Now playing at the final table. He's going to fold his hand.
So Chris Moorman going to take down pot #1 at this final table.
Yeah, we're just getting started at the LA Poker Classic. We're coming back for more on the World Poker Tour.
Welcome back to the LA Poker Classic.
I've been watching WPT since basically I started playing poker, so to make the final table at WPT is great, but now I just want to be the last man standing.
When I came, I said, I want to make the final table. Now it's done. 6-5, I would be disappointed. 4, we were okay. 3-1, very happy. 1, very, very happy.
I've always wanted to play this particular tournament, LA being my hometown, and this is my first year playing it, and to win it in my first year would just be unbelievable.
I want the title. Everybody knows I want the title. All my buddies in my town in Long Island are saying, bring home the title. I came here for the title, and that's what I want to leave with.
I hate losing. I don't enjoy winning as much as I should, but I hate losing more than anybody.
I want to win this tournament more than I probably ever wanted anything. And when I want something, I usually get it, so that's it.
We are back here on the World Poker Tour. 6 players going after this title tonight and over $1 million in purse.
Chip leader still Michael Rocco, the Nomad as he calls himself. Back to the table.
Josh Neufeld will fold his hand. Glenn LaFay now, 40-year-old out of Ridgeville, Connecticut, also won't play. And now it's around to Adam Friedman.
Well, Adam, a phenomenal poker player. Terrific 7-card stud player. Has a World Series of Poker bracelet on that. Great at high-low split games. He'll admit No Limit Hold'em is his worst game, but still, this guy is good.
He's raised with nothing into the chip leader, Michael, who has a junk hand, 7 deuce. He won't play. But the Englishman, Chris Moorman, does have a real hand, ace-jack.
Well, he won the last pot with ace-jack when he didn't have the best hand. This time he does have the best hand with the ace-jack. Let's see what he's going to do with it.
Adam just taking a shot. He is a short stack at this moment, and he cannot shake loose Chris Moorman.
Makes it 160,000 to go.
Patrick going out. Adam's going to slink away.
Quickly folds.
Gotta respect Adam, though, to take a shot there in position. Saw guys were folding in front of him. Said, I'm going to take advantage of that, perhaps. But it backfired.
Well, there's some of Chris Moorman's rooters in the crowd.
On to the next hand. We had 534 players start this event. Mike, you finished in the money, of course.
I did. I actually played for 4 days in this tournament. Played with Glenn a fair amount. Played very solid when I was at his table.
He's got a 7-5, won't play that mess. And now Adam again gets involved with an ace-queen of hearts. He will raise. Makes it 60,000 to go. Rocco, the chip leader, will fold.
Chris Moorman out as well.
The Frenchman, Patrick, he will not play that. And now Josh with a 7-5 of spades.
Well, Josh in the big blind. He's got money invested.
Yeah, he was induced to call and makes that call.
Wants to see a flop here. And a good flop for him.
You think?
He's flopped the stone nuts.
By playing slop, and he's going to check it.
Well, Adam checks right behind him.
Yeah, no continuation bet. And now it's a 4 of hearts. Now there's 4 hearts there for Adam, though.
Josh is now going to bet the straight.
He's betting 60,000.
Let's see what Adam's going to do with this flush draw. Better be a little careful here.
Doesn't get aggressive. Lucky for him, perhaps, because he's not made yet. Can he catch his heart? No.
Now the board pairs 6s. So now there's 2 pair on the board. Josh has the straight.
A little value bet here.
It's not so little. It's 130,000. Adam has 2 pair with an ace kicker now, though. He's going to make the call, and he's going to see his opponent flop the straight. So far, nothing going right for Adam at this final table.
Josh Neufeld, 24 years old. There's Josh's family and friends. How about that, playing a loosey-goosey 7-5 and flopping the nuts, Mike? Crazy times here in LA.
My table image would be different depending on who you ask. Patrick Burrell would tell you I'm an absolute maniac, while others might say I'm tighter. You know, my biggest advantage coming in today is I'm an unknown, you know? They don't know how I play. My confidence level is a 10 going into today. I expect to win.
This episode of the World Poker Tour is brought to you in part by DraftKings. If you like poker and sports, then you're gonna love daily fantasy sports at DraftKings. Go to DraftKings.com, enter promo code WPT, and start playing today.
Adam Friedman is, he's a character. I don't know if his table talk is to throw people off their game or if he's, you know, actually like that, but he's entertaining.
I feel like whatever I do, it's gonna be wrong.
I like that he's talking at the table.
Whoever gets it 2 hands in a row and just barrels all through the streets and has it.
It's enjoyable to play against.
What's it like being the best there is?
Adam's a super eccentric guy. He's a good dude. He's a smart dude. He's different. Like, he's gonna be a show.
One of the problems is a lot of the children that are on TV. They're not entertaining, they're boring, they're robots. As a viewer, you want to see people having a good time.
See, this suck up.
We need to make poker more fun, more enjoyable. And that's one thing I tend to try to do when I am at the table.
He's got like an Austin Powers laugh there.
Well, he's entertaining, a very bright guy, phenomenal poker player, mostly in 7-card stud and high-low split games. He'll admit No Limit Hold'em's his worst game, but he's here at this final table. The guy can play.
He wants to have fun, but it's tough when you're on the short stack. Hope he comes back. Here we go. Action's on, Adam. And he can't play that. So we move on to the chip leader, Michael Rocco. He's got a nothing hand. He will muck.
Over to Chris Moorman. He picks up ace-queen, so he's getting some cards here. He's going to raise it. Makes it 65,000 to go.
Patrick out. Josh Neufeld will not play.
Over to Glenn LaFay. He's in the big blind. Then the money manager, a former equities trader.
Yep.
Going to make the call here.
Going to speculate with a 5-4. And here we go.
The flop comes Queen 10-8. Good flop there for Chris. He's got top pair, top kicker.
Nothing for LaFay. He checks. And the 28-year-old Chris with top pair, getting out the money. He's going to bet a smooth 70,000. And Glenn LaFay with nothing. Glenn, an investment fund manager.
And they better be careful here. I don't think this would be the time to make a move. Nope, he decides to lay it down, so Chris Moorman picking up yet another pot.
Highly respected poker pro out of England. Doing quite well right now.
Now, Vince, as you know, the Commerce Casino is the largest poker casino in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got games that go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week around here.
That is true. But another place you can play 7 days a week from the comfort of your own home is at clubwpt.com. Yes, it is fantastic. And on top of that, if you're a Club WPT member, you get to look at all the old episodes of the World Poker Tour. You get tips and strategies. You can't beat that.
Great learning experience, no doubt about it. Check it out today, clubwpt.com. Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed.
All right, back down to the felt we go.
Action's going to be on Michael Rocco, our chip leader here.
24 years old, the professional Nomad. He calls himself fine player, and finally picks up a real hand. Ace, queen of clubs.
And definitely going to raise this. Makes it 75,000 to go.
But right behind him, Chris with a pretty solid queen, jack of spades.
Moorman, by far the most aggressive at the table so far, but he's had a hand every time.
Getting those racing chips out. Yes, he's going to make it 185.
Patrick Burrell goes out.
Yeah, Josh not playing. Around to Glenn, who's got a nice suited connector, 6-7 of clubs.
Yeah, but it's been 3-bet in front of him. He doesn't have that many chips. He goes away.
Adam out. The 2 chip leaders going to battle for this. And Michael just calling it. Doesn't get fancy.
Well, the flop comes ace, jack, 6 with 2 hearts. Nice swap for Michael Rocco. He's got top pair. Chris has got middle pair, and they have the same kicker. Not good news for Chris.
Michael has checked it. Gonna wait for his victim to bet it. Chris swinging away, bets 185.
Michael's just going to make the call here.
Michael looks like one of the most relaxed human beings I've ever seen. Wonder what he does. Walking around in the hills all day as a nomad.
Well, an ace comes off on the turn.
Oh, yeah.
Michael was leading out and betting 500,000. Now, Mormon 3-bet before the flop. He bet on the flop. But after check call, Rocco leading out on the turn for a half a minute. And it's puzzled Mormon because he's made the call here, thinking his jacks might be the best hand.
2 chip leaders in a big pot, and the river cards a 3 of diamonds.
So 3 diamonds on the board now. Rocco getting out some heavy artillery now. That is $1 million he's betting. What will he do now? They called him on the turn. Can he get away from this hand now?
Chris, a great bridge player, you name it, poker player, highly respected. In a dilemma right now to call or fold.
He gets away from this hand. A good lay down there by Chris Moorman. And our chip leader, Michael Rocco, takes down a nice pot there to extend his chip lead.
Yeah, he's been waiting patiently. He calls himself a nomad, and the nomad has struck.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more from the Commerce Casino.
Season 12 of the World Poker Tour is brought to you by ClubWPT.com, where VIP members can win their share of 100 cash and prizes every month. ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour here at the Commerce Casino